Street cred sports. Street cred sports. I'm crossing over. I'm Euro stepping.
Hello, this is Keenan of Street Cred Sports Training, and welcome to another episode of Time to Ball. It is episode 117. My guy.
How y'all doing, great people? Lee Williams.
Oh, okay. You got to say Lee Williams first, like you always do.
Lee Williams. Glad to be back.
Yeah, I know, man. Look, we're able to do this, but when we were supposed to do it, that falls on me because you actually told me, and I normally should have had it scheduled to where, you know, we would have it picked up the way it was supposed to be. So.
Well, man, considering you work for NASCAR now, you know.
Yeah, I know. I'm
gonna let that slide.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to call MJ. I was on the way in to do the podcast and had a flat tire, and so I was able to pull off because I was like, man, that noise sounds weird. I thought it was another car, and then I was like, nah, that's me. It's a flat tire. So I was able to. You shouldn't speed up, people. There were no cars. I accelerated. I'll say accelerated, and then exited UTEP because I didn't want to, fix it on the freeway.
Absolutely.
And I
Smart.
Pulled into the UTEP parking lot.
Oh, man, beautiful.
State trooper was given a ticket, and I had to go around them, which I'm not supposed to, but I went where I went because I was trying to get in, and he was nice enough to come over and help me. Well, not help me, but he asked me if I needed some help. And I told him, no, I appreciate you. But, I said, you probably got more pressing things. I'm good. I can get it. He's like, well, all right, man, if you need anything, let me know. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you didn't give me a phone number, so who would I call? But it was really great that he was able to come in and at least check on me.
That's love, considering all what's going on. That's love.
Yeah, and I look, I had went out for the state troopers a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah, I went.
I didn't know that.
Fred.
Yeah.
Fred runs the state trooper.
Yeah.
So when he found out, he was like, he called me Johnny Cage. So I went through everything.
He retired though, right, Fred?
Yeah. I went through and took the test and went through everything and passed, and they were offering me the job, but then there was something that happened with my daughter that kind of put my mind at unease. Like, I need to be there for her. Right. So I declined, but I've always had respect. One of our ex-students and players, Jasmine.
That's it?
Bria,
yeah.
she's, and
she sure is.
Yeah, so I always have respect, I have respect for law enforcement as a whole, especially the ones that out there doing, a great job. It's those other ones that be like, man, what you doing? and I've actually had to deal with the ones that are like, man, what are you doing? So,
same.
But I had I was in NASCAR mode because I actually changed it in about 20 minutes.
I thought it was less than that.
Yeah, no, because I clocked it as soon as I called you is when I was stopping the car.
Gotcha.
So then once I finished, I looked to see when we last talked. That's crazy. And it was about that. And I called April, but I called her afterwards because I didn't want to be like, well, we need to call here. I was like, no, I got it. I took care of it. So I need to call MJ so I can get on this pit crew.
You deserve it. It would have took me about an hour, man.
and I've changed a lot of times when I worked for juvenile probation and I was field officer. I was always getting flats, man. So I was really good at changing it. Took me a little bit longer because after I got the screws unloosed, I couldn't pull them out. I had to pull the tire out and stuff. So I probably could have got it around 15 minutes.
That was solid.
Yeah, so.
Props, I give you that.
Hey, well, look, don't call me because I'm more expensive than what is it?
AAA.
AAA. Yeah. I'm more expensive than AAA. But, if I ever see somebody on the side of the road and I know they need help, I'll help them. What is weird is I don't think people help pull and at least ask if somebody else needs help like they used to.
Right.
Everybody has phone and stuff. I feel bad if I see somebody on the road, especially if it's a lady.
Right.
But even men as well, anybody on the side of the road, I'll pull over. And if I don't, I'll feel bad like I let that person down. I should, and sometimes I'll go ahead and turn back around and then come and ask them like, hey, is everything okay? And if they say no, we're good, that's all I need to hear.
Right. I typically do that with calls that are stalled and they need a push,
Yes.
what have you.
Yes.
So I've done that many times
Yes.
in some really bad areas, and children in the car and stuff like that, male and female.
Yeah.
I've helped them all out,
Yeah.
so I will do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's what we should do.
Absolutely.
And I remember one time I helped somebody, and then it was an elderly lady, and she was so appreciative. I can't believe you would pull over and help me and everything. Why would you help me? And I said, ma'am, I would want someone to do the same thing for my mother, grandmother, wife, or something like that.
That's how I think too.
Yeah, I was like, I would hope that there's
sure.
somebody out there like myself that would do that. So,
Absolutely.
Shout out to the state trooper. Let's continue to help each other out especially when we need.
Amen on that.
All right, so I know you're like, man, what are they talking about? NASCAR and helping people and flat tires? Let's get into some sports.
It's street cred training. It's not just basketball.
This is a motivational thing right here. All right, so let's get into things that interest me.
All right.
Or us, rather.
Okay. What you got?
We got to start in the NBA with the Detroit Pistons fight.
Man.
So for those of you who aren't aware, there was a fight. Charlotte Hornets, they were on like an 8 or 9 game winning streak. So they were playing Detroit in Charlotte. Great game.
Yep.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of the player for Charlotte, but he got into it with Duran, and they went, head, face, and stuff, and then there was some grappling and punches thrown.
Correct.
Then it kind of gets sat down, kind of calmed down, and then they kind of start going, and then next thing you know, Isaiah Stewart for Detroit comes off the bench, still has the ice packs on his knees, runs over there, and goes at Miles Bridges, and he grabs him and stuff like that.
And actually swung.
Yeah, swung. So I heard he got 7 games, right? He got the most. Now, my feeling was I thought he was going to get up to 20 games.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I thought minimum 25.
Right.
Is what I thought. Why it was, and the only reason why I said 25, I'm not for players. I'm definitely not for fighting in games. I'm definitely not for players, getting penalized more than they should.
Right.
But you came off the bench. You almost incited another riot.
Right, because it was done.
Right.
They were still talking, but it had calmed down. You didn't see anybody running up. Everybody was, and then he runs out, and then it blows up more. What bothered me more was listening to certain NBA pundits talk about it and say
they liked it.
Well, some of them were saying, well, it wasn't that bad. He was protecting his teammate. And I'm like, his teammates on this side, he's running at the guy, and they're not going at each other. How is that protecting him? Protecting him is he runs up and gets in front of him like, hey, now if he does that, obviously he still needs to be punished for getting off the bench. But for that, I would say, you know what, give him 4 games too.
And I think he did. I think they're saying that because Miles Bridges came across and swung on Duran.
But he didn't come. Look, from the moment Durham is here, Bridges is over here.
And he came late.
And he came over there. So if he was saying, well, he swung at him, that was way over here. Why didn't he run over there when that happened?
I think there was 2 times where they were by the sideline and they came back over this way. Either way, to me, he's getting a bit out of control.
Yeah.
He's
history.
Looking to fight.
Yeah, there's history.
He's always doing this to people and things of that nature. There's ways to intimidate, but when you are consistently doing that, NBA guys got to realize, this stuff comes down.
Yeah.
It's happening in college, AAU, high school.
Right.
And so the penalty has to be severe enough where people are like, whoa, I need to control myself.
I always, I always used to hear, killing a mosquito with a sledgehammer. Like that's overkill. I feel like in certain instances, if you put out a statement or if you put out something that makes everybody say, damn.
Yeah, no doubt.
They're going to, 99% of the population is going to fall in line. You still going to have those knuckleheads, that 1% of knuckleheads that just don't listen, right? So let's get into one other thing that happened. In the video, in the game, they started to circulate video of Duncan Robinson, who's shooting guard for Detroit,
Right.
who turns around and kind of makes like a gesture as he's walking away. People have started to get on him saying, oh, well, that lets you know that he don't have his brother's back. He's supposed to be in there mixing it up. I call bullshit.
Yeah.
Because first of all, he doesn't have to fight to show that he's part with his brothers or per se, but you don't even know why he did that.
To me, it was obvious he was disgusted with Stewart for coming off the bench. Well, disgusted with the whole thing.
Hey, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, disgusted with the whole thing.
Come on, man.
But I think he does that when Stewart comes off. It's just like, oh,
okay,
man, come on. Because like you said, everything was getting ready to calm down.
Right.
And then, and to be honest, Duncan Robinson throws a punch or tries to block a punch, and that messes up his hand. Like,
exactly.
He's out. Like, he's a specialist.
Right.
So he can't have anything happening going on with him.
Right.
And so that's just how I saw it. But a lot of people didn't realize that during the other guy from Charlotte, this has been going on since high school.
With Duran and that guy? Okay. They haven't liked each other.
Yeah, they were on power AAU teams.
And they've gotten into it.
Mountain Verde, and then he was on the one in Florida.
Okay.
The big one in Florida, and so
IMG.
They've always, IMG.
Okay.
And so they've always kind of got into it.
And that's fair, okay? But, man, you do that shit after the season.
Right, yeah.
You pull up in a pickup game, and, hey, we both know what goes on.
Facts.
We both know what goes on in them college workouts, in them NBA workouts during the summer. We've been a part of some classic, fights and stuff.
No
so
doubt.
And a lot of times
I'm proud of it, but it happens.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's, man, let them go. Like, we're not trying, like, dog, y'all been barking and stuff all day, all week, all year. Go ahead and handle y'all business. We're going to sit over here and watch, right? We ain't going to let nobody get really, really accosted, but you go ahead and do that. The game ain't the time to do that.
Yeah, and I'm starting not to believe in that too, because number one, man, I'm trying to hoop. Two, somebody, man, y'all take that somewhere else. Y'all go to a park, y'all do all that somewhere else. So and a lot of times it's just petty.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it wasn't like, it was a really hard foul or he tried to hurt him, that kind of stuff. So,
but
and if David Stern was still a commissioner, dog, Isaiah Student would, this season
done.
And next season.
50 games. He's known for putting out 50 games.
He'd have been done. Yeah. So, I think in this instance, I think Adam Silver and his crew had a perfect opportunity to really let the people in the public set tone and know, like, look, we're all for player involvement. We're going to protect, but we're not having this.
Yep.
But he dropped the ball in this. So, he got it. And
definitely.
Isaiah Stewart is one of those guys that's who he's going to be. And hey, I'm okay with that. Draymond, Dylan Brooks, that's just who they are. I'm okay with that. But here's the other thing on that. There are consequences.
Right. Absolutely. So let me ask this. If this was Draymond Green, how many games would you think he would have gotten?
I would have said over 20.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that area. I mean, now, is he coming off the bench? Or if he's coming off the bench, maybe over 20. If he's there in the game, maybe 10 to 15.
If he did exactly what Isaiah Stewart did.
Oh, come off the bench? Yeah. Same
30 plus, right?
I would say somewhere in that area because, they both reputation based for doing those things. So,
correct.
But let's segue into something else. This was actually last night.
Correct.
Providence and St. John's. are playing. I can't pronounce the kid's name for Providence, but St. John's player was on a going up for a layup, kind of on a fast break, and Providence player basically clotheslined him.
For sure. No, he clotheslined him.
Yeah.
Had him in a headlock.
Had him in a headlock. Then he gets up, somebody runs over, he turns and he looks like he punches at him, but it looked kind of like a push. They get like 4 or 5 people ejected.
Yeah.
Then another player for St. John's is going up for a layup. And then another Providence player just pushes him in the back.
Yeah.
He's ejected. And the coach is looking at him like, what are you doing? But here's the thing. It makes me wonder if that tone was set in that locker room by the coaching staff about that.
That when a player responds like that, he either has been guided to do that, or he has zero to minimal respect for his coach and his team.
Yeah.
And so this gentleman, the first guy that got in a headlock, before he left the gym, he was getting the crowd hype and jumping up and you know. So you know, I just don't know where that comes from. You didn't see any St. John's guys doing that because you know Patino don't play those type games.
No.
And for me, for pro at any level, but when you get to professional level, NBA, and you get to college, there's too much money involved.
Right.
There's too much money involved for anybody to be doing that type of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't mind being highly competitive. I don't mind anything like that. And I don't mind you getting mad.
Right.
Just do something about it on the court.
Right.
You know, it looks weird when you're fighting and you're getting beat.
Right.
It's a bad look.
Right.
It says this is your only option to create a scene and create a smoke screen and get the narrative off.
Right.
You can't beat this team.
Right. And one of the St. John's players, forgive me, I don't know his name, but one of the St. John's players was at Providence the previous year.
See, I didn't know that
So,
piece.
you know, Coach Patino was saying, look, you know, if that was the plan was, you know, they were really hyped to try to take him out of the game because he was there last year. Like, you know, he said something to that effect, but he wasn't like, you know.
It's a transfer. Everybody's transferring.
Right. He didn't try to paint Providence and coaching staff in a bad light or anything. It was just like, you know, he kind of talked about like the fans more. And I think that was inciting stuff. But, you know, this kind of stuff, that kind of behavior, it needs to it can't be a part of it because think about it. Just a week ago, we're just talking about the Detroit stuff. This happens last night, and it's almost an identical thing that happens.
Absolutely.
So now you're trickling down. Now, next thing you know, you're going to have an issue. You know you have issues in high school, middle school, and city league.
And summer's around the corner.
Right. So you have to get this under control to where people understand.
Immediately.
Man, we're not doing that. Look,
immediately.
I'm not saying I don't like a good fight. I don't have a problem if you really feel like you need to get something off your chest and fight, that's fine. Right. But put on some gloves. When I was growing up, you know, if you had an issue, you put on some gloves or you wrap some towels and you go in the backyard and you know, scrap it out and stuff.
The bigger problem that I have is it's especially these media teams and media folks seeking out players on the side who they feel haven't joined in or not sticking up for their teammates. Like you're almost creating a narrative where people have to fight just because no one says anything.
Right, and then they put it out there. And all you need is I hate to say it, it's enough fools in the world, you know, to where all you need is a few of them to speak on it.
Right.
And it doesn't necessarily mean because you're a artist, entertainer, athlete that you can't have foolish thought process and ideas, because we see it every day with people putting their foot in their mouth saying things. And it's like all you need is for them to say it, and now people who, you know, respect them start to think that way. And all you have to think about is you ask yourself, would you want this happening at your child's game?
Right.
If your child is playing a sport, would you want exactly what happened to happen?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So if you don't want it to happen, you shouldn't want it to happen. We want it to happen when we're watching a boxing match.
Yeah, of course. That's what the sport is.
Or MMA, but
the
I don't
sport
want to
calls
see
for.
that in my T-ball game or volleyball game and stuff like that. So, yeah, boy, don't let me be the commissioner. I'm finding you. I'm finding your uncle, your cousin your cousin who ended up just got to the game. He just got to the game. Man, I'll tell you a quick story one time. When I was little, I wasn't supposed to have company at the house, right?
Okay.
I had company, and my cousin told my mom because she got mad at me because she asked me for something and I told her no. So she called my mom and told my mom that I had company.
Ooh-wee.
So my mom gets on the phone and, I'm like, hello?
Yeah.
You guys are, yeah. So my dad gets home, right? My dad gets home. My aunt and everybody's over there. He's whooping everybody. So he takes me in there. He whoops my butt, right? So I'm mad because I got, whooped. Then he says he's going to whoop everybody else. So I took pleasure in the fact that he was whooping everybody else because I was the one who caused it, right? Mm-hmm. My cousin just gets over there right. He gets over there right before this whooping and stuff happens. He gets caught up.
I know they want to choke you.
And I'm going to have to point it out because my cousin Heckma Harrison, who's been on here, he was like, I just got here. My dad was whooping him. He just got there. And I was laughing at the time because it was like an evil laugh. Like, yeah, if you go whoop me, everybody get a whooping.
Boy, you something else.
so imagine that player's cousin coming to the game and I see him on film. He just walk in with his popcorn and I identify, oh, that's his cousin? Yeah. We banning him from the arena.
Man, hey, listen, this boy here is something else.
We talk about it all the time. Like, yeah, I remember that time Keenan messed up and everybody got a whooping. I was like, hey, I took mine. I knew I was wrong. I took mine. I had nothing to do with all of that other stuff. That y'all should have had y'all people talk.
You were the root.
I was the root. And I take it, and I felt bad, and I tell them like, man, I felt bad that you got in the crossfire. Your mom should have been telling them like,
your dad was handing them out, huh?
He just came home and just started handing them out. So and it's like, soon as he pulls up, and I'm in my room, my window faces the backyard, so I see him get out of the truck, and he's walking to the house a little bit faster than normal. So I know, it's about to go down.
It's going down.
It's going down. I'm already ready, like trying to stiffen up, trying to take it and everything. So yeah, no, that was bad, man. That was funny.
This dude here.
All right, so let's move on. Let's move on real quick.
All right.
NBA All-Star fix. Did you watch the NBA All-Star?
I didn't.
Okay, so first,
I just saw the highlights.
I was not happy that it was on early. I actually thought they were having it on Peacock, so I was prepared not to watch it. Obviously it's Valentine's Day. I was prepared not to watch it, but it was on NBC. But it was on earlier. It started at like 3.
I had no idea what channel it was on.
Yeah, it was from 3 to 6. So that was the first thing it was on. Like,
and
why
I'm
is it
used to 6 to 8?
Yeah. Now, the word is that, because the Olympics were on, the Olympics was taking precedent, which like you shouldn't have it. But needless to say,
what? I'm sorry. The Winter Olympics, they need to be banned for life. Banned for life.
Hey,
for this reason only. You have Temu as a sponsor?
Oh, Temu's? Hey, man, you better leave Temu alone.
Temu, listen, everybody know you order an extra large shirt on Temu, you're getting a small. Temu.
And it might not even be a shirt.
It could be a blanket.
No,
you order a t-shirt. You order a t-shirt, you're going to get a blanket.
Yeah, exactly. It's a baby blanket.
Yeah, for sure. Like, man, come on. Y'all got to do better, man.
Oh, my God. Temu not too bad, but they bad.
Temu is disgustingly bad.
Oh man,
Temu is like the spirit of airlines.
See, there you go. Timo gonna call me tomorrow. Hey man, I appreciate what you said. We're gonna be like, yeah, man, yeah, y'all got to get right. Hey, we looking
Send
at
some
throwing
free gear.
we looking at throwing some money and sponsoring you. Oh, really?
My bad, Timo.
They gonna say we need you to have a big Tebow sign in behind you, and we need y'all to wear some Temu shirts.
Look at man, they need to be banned. Oh, that's bad.
So all right. So 3-point contest was great.
Awesome. Awesome.
Okay. So before I get to the 3-point contest, they had the thing where they would have a present player, a past player,
Okay.
and somebody. So it was the Knicks who had Cat, Allen Houston,
Oh, wow,
Jalen
okay.
Brunson, and Jalen Brunson's dad.
Shooting?
So no, the dad was going to be the passer.
Okay,
right.
okay.
You had Ron Harper
Oh, wow.
and his 2 sons, and I want to say the passer for them was the Drewski kid.
Okay.
He was there.
The comedian.
Then you had who else is you had 2 Chainz, who was a passer, and you had Anthony Anderson, who was a passer.
For shooting?
No, they were passing. So 2 Chainz group, who was on his group? I can't remember who was on his group. But they were, the NBA, it'll come back. The Hawks was one group. And so it was the Hawks, the Knicks, Duke. Duke had I think Duke had Anthony Anderson was the passer for them.
Okay,
So
okay.
it was Con Knipple and then 2 other guys from
Okay.
that were playing, right? What was funny, Drewski was they had to make the passes. So Drewski's making the pass. He throws one ball like 40 feet up in the air over the guy's head, and they're looking.
Drewski's
right?
a fool, man.
Drewski, but it wasn't because they're being timed. So all of this is like, and it's like he threw it and he had this look like damn, like what happened? And they're looking at it like, why the ball's up? Anthony Anderson. I'm like, cause it's like, okay, so they're like on the wing. That's where the pass is coming.
Okay.
So the pass is coming to a spot here.
Yeah.
Then the pass is gonna go to like the 3-point line, wing, corner, right?
Okay.
Pass from here to here for Anthony Anderson and Drewski was good. But I was like, man, once they started passing all the way across court, it's
was
gonna be
over.
a problem because they
It
did
was
not
over.
know how to pass. And sure enough, Anthony Anderson balls was like bouncing 2 times and they're trying to reach down to pick him up to shoot. And I'm like, man, did somebody not think about the fact that he's gonna have a hard time making
No doubt.
those passes? So Jalen Brunson and 2 Chainz, they were snapping. That's what Jalen Brunson's dad does.
Right.
So Rick Brunson. So his passes were crisp, and that's how they were getting the better shots. But that was okay. The 3-point contest was great.
Yeah.
Because I know you got to have all those other guys, but it came down to Con Knipple, Damon Lillard, Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Damon Lillard puts up, I think, 29.
Right. I saw that. I was happy for him.
Devin comes out scorching. Last rack, money ball. So it's like he's going to shatter it.
Right.
He makes the first 2.
Right.
Needs one more.
Missed all 3.
Missed the last 3.
And he's a great shooter.
Yeah, so it was like, wow. And he had this look, and everybody had this look like, wow. My question to you is, what is your suggestion to fix the All-Star dunk contest? I have 2.
Okay.
What are yours?
Regardless of what they do, you can change the events. You can have whatever you want to. You gotta have your stars playing.
Yeah.
You have to have your stars playing. I don't think it can always be about money. Maybe it's for their charity. Maybe it's for their business. Figure out something very creative. Some of those guys don't need more businesses.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe involve a family member. Something has to happen because, these guys that are winning these dunk contests, G League guys, and no disrespect to the G League at all, but people watch it for stars.
Right.
That's why it's called an all-star game,
Right.
an all-star weekend.
Right.
And so I think the players got to do a better job. They're making all the money. You know, they're getting everything that they've ever wanted, in my mind. Show up, man.
All right. No, go ahead. No, I'm sorry. My
I'm
apologies.
No,
I'm
good,
excited.
Man. Yeah. I want to hear your excitement.
Okay, so the dunk contest was so bad, they should have put that shit on Tubi. It should have been on Tubi, man. And I love me some Tubi. I watch Tubi more now than most other channels, so I love
been
Tubi.
on Timu TV.
It should have been on Tubi, that should have been sponsored by Timu. That dunk contest.
I heard somebody hit their head.
Yeah, it was Jason Richardson's son.
Jace?
Yeah, from Orlando. But somebody said, I was like, ooh. But then when they showed the slow motion, I was like, man, maybe his afro helped his fall and cushioned his head or something. Because he had his hair all out.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe his afro hit. And he came out, he did a dunk and stuff.
I know his dad was embarrassed.
Yeah. And it was the passer. The passer, like, I think they should get rid of all of these other guys helping and passing. And it's like everybody's doing the same dunk.
Right.
So my first solution would be, and I know this goes against everything. You seen that show called Dunk Man?
I haven't.
Okay, it's a show that comes on TNT. I'll try to send you a link so you can see. And basically what they do, and it's Vince Carter, Jalen Rose, Shaq, and they'll have somebody else. And they're the panel of judges.
Okay.
And they get these guys who are professional dunkers. You know, all across. I'm sure you've seen highlights of these guys doing these crazy looking dunks.
Right.
And they bring them in and they dunk against each other. So I think you should have those guys doing it. One solution would be having those guys because those guys are professional dunkers and they're very creative on their dunks.
Yeah.
You know,
I've seen some.
they're very.
I haven't seen that show, but I've seen.
There
some
was
dunkers.
one where the guy jumps, he wraps it around his back and between his legs,
and then goes
dunks
down.
in there. He doesn't do it. He doesn't wrap it around his back on the ground. He jumps in there,
that's
right?
tough.
So that would be one solution because I was like, man, I went ahead and found that after because I felt, disgusted that I had to sit there and watch it.
That's bad.
But my second suggestion, which I think is more likely, is to have the fans vote. The fans vote on who they want.
Oh, I see.
And whoever they vote,
Yeah.
obviously you gotta, you could put maybe top 10 dunkers, right? Guys who game dunk, stars and everything. You let them vote. If you're picked, there is no I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
You have to do it. If you don't do it, then now maybe you forfeit all of your all NBA, your contracts, incentives and stuff like that. If you're chosen to do it. Now, if you're hurt, obviously, but you do it close enough to where they're going, and obviously there's going to be some kind of prize or something, what you say, but that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Because the fans vote for the top players in the All-Star.
Yeah.
Right?
Why not
you
vote
let
for them?
You let the fans vote, and if they want to see Ja and Zion got to be in it. Right now, Ja needs to do something because he has negative value.
No doubt. Seeing something you said right now just kind of came to me, and maybe they should have 1v1s on the dunk contest. So like you said, I want to see Ja go against Zion. I want to see, matchups.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you can make it like
Instead
instead of having this format where this dude comes, all of them come out, you have like a 1v1. So it's 8 players, 1, 2, 1, 2, and they shuffle or whatever. He's going against him. He's going against him.
Yeah.
They get 2 dunks each. Boom. All right. Boom. They get to the next spot. You can't. Unfortunately, you can't have Dr. J. You can't have Dr. J rating the dunks no more. Dr. J don't give nobody.
I know, man.
Hey, man, I need to put an amendment to it or a follow-up because they were going to the scores. And Dr. J was at the end. He had already got up and left. I was like, man, he's so disgusted. He left before the numbers came out.
Did?
But what it was he was presenting the
Oh,
award.
I see.
So I think he
Okay.
needed more time to get up and get up
Right.
over it. But it was a funny look, but it's like them old heads, they don't give anything.
They don't play that.
They don't give anything.
You gonna get like a 30.
Yeah,
Those
but
dudes.
I love your idea with the 1v1, but you do it where the fan votes.
Yeah.
Top 8
Yeah, I
people,
think that'd be
1v1.
cool.
Oh yes.
I think that'd be cool.
Oh yes. I think I might have to put that
You need to
in
that out.
existence.
Yeah, you need to put that out.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break, and then we're gonna be back. Okay, so we're back with our basketball ideology. So we're gonna jump into the El Paso High School basketball playoffs. Right now, it's gonna be the girls.
Yep.
I'm gonna lean on you because unfortunately, I have not been able to get out to games this year like I normally do.
Right. And typically, you're everywhere. Typically, so I've been to a few, and I'll be honest, I've gone to a lot less games this year in town, just because talent's down. You know, the narrative is 29 through 32 class is gonna
Really be
gonna make that next jump. It's a lot of good players out there, but you know, just the narrative has always been tough for us to get out of town and win, and you know, some don't understand it. Some say it's coaching. Some say it's talent. I think it's a variety of things, but I think the first thing is preparation. Not that we don't prepare,
right.
but I think how we prepare is different. And so I would advise, number one, coaches, if you're in the playoffs, players, you're in the playoffs, congratulations. Awesome. Everybody can't get there.
Right.
And some of you get there every year, which is beyond a blessing. You know, but I would start to, as we've always talked about, start to see, okay, what's next? Like what is it gonna take my team to get to the next level, to get 2 or 3 wins in the playoffs?
Right.
And, you know, I know some coaches have asked me, and I said, that starts in June. They're like, what do you mean? What you do from June to October, time the season starts, like those reps are important.
Right.
That stuff is important. You know, the strategy is, we have the film, we give it to the kids. Well, kids need to be taught.
Right.
There's a strategic way to study film.
Right.
You know, most kids are looking at themselves. They're not looking at,
they're watching the game.
Yeah, they're not looking at who they're guarding. They're not looking at tendencies.
Right.
And I think once those things are taught, I think you just level up. You know, your players, you want your players on the same level as you.
Right.
And, you know, sometimes that's not something that a coach wants. Maybe there's sometimes they take it personal, just from what I'm hearing from players.
Right.
But for me, we've got to do a better job of competing. Yes, there's a lot of schools in El Paso. I understand that. Yes, the talented is diluted, but what about the development piece?
Yeah.
The development piece is what is lacking. The parental piece, the parental drama. So for me, it's 3 things. It's the parental drama, you know, I don't want to say lack of, but maybe people aren't comfortable with trying to develop certain skill sets as a high school coach. Obviously, as a high school coach, we are limited. I say we because the core of me is a high school coach.
Right.
Limited as far as UIL, but like take advantage of the time you have them every day.
Right.
Maybe I'm working on one move, you know?
Yeah. You know, I'm going to go because I still want to find out from you who you think and how far, who you think is going to be teams to watch and how far do you think they're going to go.
Okay.
But I do want to piggyback on the last thing you just said, which was, you know, the development side that some coaches might struggle with doing that. I've always been big with saying, you know, coaches, people need to reach out and try to converse with people or get people in or figure out a way to get somebody in to try to help and do things when they aren't able to. Because, like, for instance, all high schools, I believe, have boosters. Some are probably bigger than others, right? But every school should have a booster system. And you use those boosters to do great things. So why not, if you have a situation where your school needs to get better at developing players, and let's say the coach is either doesn't have the time or isn't that type of person where they're really good at developing, you should reach out to somebody. It could be an organization, it could be a player who used to play, but come and have them to work those kids out. And here's why I say that. I've had multiple, and I'll just speak on one situation where a middle school coach, I have a new student, she's 7th grade. She's never played. So I worked with her for about 2 months before the season started, teaching her how to dribble, teaching her how to shoot, teaching her how to understand, okay, you're going to probably play a lot of zone. These are the areas of the zone. If you play man-to-man, which I doubt, so you understand. This is what you do if the ball goes to the corner, right? If you're on the bottom, you go out, right? Mm-hmm. She's learning out. It's been a little bit of a struggle, but she learns it. She plays in her first couple of middle school games. The coach is yelling at her. Mm-hmm. When the ball goes to the corner, she closes out. Mm-hmm. He yells at her, tells her don't go out. And I can get it, because at the heart of a 2-3 zone, you want them to shoot from the outside, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody's a little different with how they want to approach it. Right. But at the basic sense, you don't want to overextend. So right. I just taught her to just close out and be there. Right. Then, so he tells her not to close out. So then the ball goes back to that side, and she stays there, and he yells at her for not closing out.
Oh man, that's
right. Yeah. So mom is like trying to understand, and I'm talking to a mom, and I'm like, well, you have, and look, I'm trying to give the coach his kudos. I want to understand the situation. And I'm like, you know what? Talk to him, because oftentimes you need to talk to the coach to find out, which is what the coach should have done in the first place. Right. Let you know what his principle, what he wants you to do in these situations. Right. She's over here, ball goes over there. He's yelling at her because she's not over on this side. And I'm telling her, no, the shift. So the middle shifts out a little bit to maybe kind of close, short corner. Right. You should only shift like right at the goal. That's where you should be. Because if you're too far over, somebody backdoor and it's a layup. Right. He yells at her once for not going up and going way out to help somebody. And I tried, so she's confused. Mm-hmm. So needless to say, the parent mentions that, well, I told him, I said, ask them what is it that she needs help in, because you have a trainer. Right. Dude tells her, oh, well, he probably doesn't know anything. He just works with him on skills and stuff. So she has to tell him, well, her trainer has been training for over 25 years. Mm-hmm. I had even had to send him a picture of me sitting with an NBA agent, coach, Duke coach, and Derek Lively at the Las Vegas Big Time. Right. Like, man, I'm not just saying this. And I told her, I said, ask him, has he ever played the game? Mm. She asked him, and he said he's never played basketball. Not even middle. He's never touched a basketball. So then when she asked him that, she kind of asked him that because she's a teacher at the school. So she knows the guy. So it's not like she's just a parent. She kind of got on him when she asked him that. She said his whole mentality has changed. Now, he's not getting on her as much because he understands that she knows what she's doing. Right. And my question is, how could you even have that happen? This isn't the first time, Lee, that I've had this conversation. And I'm like, how is it that, and I get it. I appreciate the fact that they're helping because, you don't have enough people. Right. But you can't put people in that have no idea of what they're doing, and they're yelling at kids for stuff they don't even know how to do.
Yeah. Listen, that breaks my heart to hear that. I apologize to that parent and that educator and the player. I'm an athletic director on the campus, so I very well know how tough it is to put people in place that actually know what's going on. Secondly, we got to do better.
Yeah.
You know,
I have some suggestions.
I see basketball as just like academics.
Right.
If I'm teaching a geometry class, which I've never taught, and I'm put in that class, I'm gonna learn all the ins and outs about it.
Right.
Period. I'm gonna follow it to the letter of the law. Basketball should not be any different. Secondly, just flipping back to the high school again, assistant coaches, come on. Like, either find an outsource to develop these kids, do the research. I mean, like, a high school coach doesn't have time to do everything.
No.
It's too much.
No.
And so some of these districts are blessed with 3 assistants.
Right.
3. Some of these, and one of those assistants is just caters to the varsity.
Yeah.
So as an assistant coach, I know when I was assistant coach and I worked for Matt Larson, I worked with Matt Larson and I worked with Mike Brooks. I'm always, I'm seeing a varsity player that needs some help. Hey man, let's get some shots afterwards. He never had to worry about that.
Right.
Now, did that come naturally?
Probably.
Kind of, sort of. But my thing is, Lee, I always thought as assistant coach, what is your value?
Right.
This team needs to win 2 or 3 games because of what you're doing.
Right.
A year. And so, they didn't have to sit me down and say that. I'm like, Coach, are you okay with this? This is what I'm doing. They're like, oh, Lee, absolutely. So even if I had some ideas, I would bring it to him. He would sometimes he would say no, sometimes he wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't take it personal.
Right.
But our assistant coaches in this town, we gotta level up. I'm not saying you're doing a bad job.
Yeah, we all got to look and
gotta
say,
level
what can
up.
we do better? Because there's no way I should go to a varsity game at any high school on boys and girls and watch players not be able to know how to dribble. I shouldn't be able to go and see. On freshmen, I can get that. But by the time they're in varsity, if they're on varsity, they should be able to do those things. And it is disheartening. So let's get off of that and let's get back into who are your top 4, top 6 teams that you think are going to make a deep run?
You talking about girls?
Yes.
I think one of the top teams in town is obviously America's.
Okay.
However, I think they're going to have to meet somebody from a really tough area, district in Lubbock, and that may make it tough because they've got a few bigs down there. But I think they have a chance. They shoot it well. They play with guts. They play really, really hard.
Okay.
Coach Tisha King has those girls rolling.
Okay.
Parents, stop getting kicked out of games. Americans, please stop. It's embarrassing.
Stop, man.
I'm sorry.
Stay on the game.
I'm sorry, man. You know what? I really like Montwood.
Okay.
I think Montwood's got an opportunity to definitely win a by-district game and get to an area game.
Okay.
I think they've got a point guard, obviously, that can handle things, and all that comes with her mindset. They've also got some scores, and they have a big. So, and they had a really good coaching staff, in my opinion. It gets spooky right after that. I'm going to say a team that is in the playoffs, but probably not going to feel it this year, but these next 4 years, you're going to feel it, next 3 years, is Parkland. Parkland's like a school that is going to,
they're on the ascension.
man, they are on the come up. They are ascending for sure.
Okay.
I like Burgess,
Okay.
to be honest. They play hard, just because they play hard.
Right.
I don't know what she's saying to her kids to get them to play hard or what she's buying them, but they get it done every single year.
What's she buying? Them?
Man, they play hard.
No,
Man.
it's just funny when you say it. Like,
Yeah, 'cause-
like my mind, when you said it, my mind just went to Coach. It's Coach Hernandez, right?
Yeah.
Coach Hernandez is like, what you want? You want one of that? You play hard, and I'm gonna buy you that. Because it's just
play
seeing them
hard,
and telling them
dude.
that in practice. I know, Coach. I know you're not doing it. It's just my thought process. It was funny, the thought. All right.
They play
Anybody
hard.
else?
I think if you said 3, right?
Yeah, we could go with those 4. Now, any sleepers outside of those 4?
Sleepers. Hanks,
Okay.
sleeper, and that's 580.
All right. So,
I'm sorry. I apologize. They're gonna kill me for this. Franklin.
okay. Franklin's a sleeper.
No, Franklin's not a sleeper. Franklin's in that top list. 4. Yeah, Franklin, Americus, Montwood, Burgess. I really think are
Franklin, Americus, Montwood, Burgess. So Parkland, you're putting as like a sleeper, or you're not putting them. Okay, so you're not in there.
Hanks is the sleeper.
Okay, so they're not in there this year.
No.
Okay. All right. Okay, so who gets where? Who gets how far? Because it's by district first game, right? Or is it district?
It's by district.
Then it's area. Okay. And then
area is quarterfinals.
Area quarterfinals.
Yeah. Then
regional.
You're right, regionals.
Regionals.
By district, area, regionals, regional quarters, semis, finals.
Okay.
You get to the.
So you got to win. What is it? 6 games to
I
get
think
to
it's 6
state?
or 7 games to get to state.
To get to state.
I
Okay.
believe so.
So, which of these teams
have a chance?
Because look, the by district, the area seems to be the area, and then
area seems to be the problem.
Getting
the regionals is the
right.
problem.
Okay, so
yeah, Sweet 16.
Who gets the regional or Sweet 16 from this group?
Man,
who has the best chance? Do you think? I guess a lot of it's gonna fall on where you end up seated, because I have had high school coaches tell me that,
and they go in big school, small school,
right? Big school, small school,
yeah,
right. So, and it's different than it used to be. It's like 5A. So let's just say 5A. 5A is what, 5A1 and 5A2 or something like that.
This is 1, District 1.
Okay.
Same thing with 6A, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a minute, but even it changed it up, because even within the 6A, they're scoring big school, small school.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So it's a lot different this year than what it was.
Different.
Okay.
Very, very different.
Anybody before we finish this? So who do you got?
Depends on who they draw. I like Americas, but I'm gonna say either Franklin or Montwood's got a chance
to get to Sweet 16. Okay.
It has the best chance. Are they gonna get there? They have the best chance.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to talk about this next week
absolutely.
And then we can start on the boys next week as well.
Yes, sir.
Because their last games are gonna be either Tuesday or Friday.
Absolutely.
Probably Friday, right?
It's gonna be Tuesday.
Okay.
It's gonna be Tuesday.
But they won't start playoffs.
No, they always finish on a Tuesday
and then
in case there's a play-in game, and they take care of that Friday.
They start that following. Okay, so we'll have
absolutely.
And we'll be able to update.
Yep.
Okay.
I've gone to some practices, so I'm
good.
I'm watching.
Okay,
for sure.
All right. Well, hey, it's great that we bring this up. We definitely want to see, where these teams will land. Right. And shout out to some teams that maybe nobody thought was gonna make the playoffs, and then they did make the playoffs, this year. So
absolutely.
And those who didn't make the playoffs, shout out for your hard work, and you should take a look and think about things that you need to do to get better. Now, I do understand there's going to be some realignment, so some teams are going to be moving.
We'll go over that next time too.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we can go to realignment after everybody finishes.
I like that.
All right. So.
And coaches, just understand, I'm a high school coach, not being disrespectful at all. Just sharing ideas. That's all. We know you guys have a Teacher Fools class schedule, amongst other things and other duties. I'm fully aware. Yeah. But again, like we got to go above and beyond, and that's kind of
I think, and I'll end it on this note. I do think that it should be okay to have conversations. I know I've had conversations with a couple of different high school coaches, and it gets a little uncomfortable because I know that they get a little defensive with some things, and I get that.
Yeah,
and what I try to tell them is, look, if I can't have this uncomfortable conversation with you, there's nothing that you're going to be able to look at after we finish and start to say, you know what, maybe I need to look at that a little differently, right? Because that's look, when I'm training, I make my players uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So then it turns into them being comfortable. And now when they're uncomfortable, we take that weakness and then we turn it into a strength. Now they're in the game, what people thought was uncomfortable is now comfortable, and they, perform better.
Yeah.
So it's okay. Like, there are things, look, I've been doing this over 25 years. There are still, well, actually it's not over 25. I mean, actually it's over 30. No, 28, somewhere in there.
Yeah, that's 30.
But 20 is 30. I need you to be my accountant, man. But, as long as I've been doing it, I still seek to try to find things. And I know I don't know everything. Yeah. It feels like it when I'm watching and scrolling, and I'm seeing all these different dudes telling players, this is what you need to do and stuff. And I'm like, oh man, I was doing that back 15 years ago with my players. So, okay, it's good to know that we thinking alike on some things, but I always want to learn, right? I always want to look at if there's something else I want to do, and I have an open mind. And I sometimes question if coaches have that same mentality. They will say they do. They will say they will go to coaches' clinics, they'll watch they love this play, they'll take it and stuff. But if I think another coach was to talk to them about something that they see that's a deficiency, I think coaches tend to get a little, and it's kind of natural. You get a little defensive, like, oh, who are you to be telling me, right?
Yeah. I've always thought the opposite. I'm very open about my deficiencies as it pertains to basketball. And so that kind of breaks down those walls. And so I'm open to those conversations, because there's some things in basketball still to this day that I really, really struggle with.
Right.
And there are some assistants, like there's an assistant, I don't know his name, but at Riverside High School, he does a fantastic job.
Okay.
Fantastic job developing shots and ball handling and skills. I mean, and I only know because I witnessed it.
Right.
And so he doing a great job.
Good.
Fantastic.
Good. So, yeah, it's good to, we know, like what you say with me, I try to look at more film to watch more movement of different things because of the way my eyes have been trained with doing this. I don't fixate on one player. I fixate on the play and how that player can get better. But now I'm looking at everything, and learning. So that's something that I've said I always want to try to get better at doing. But yeah, it's something that it has to take everybody to kind of help each other and pitch in and get those. But
before we go, I know we're running out of time here. Yeah, we're almost out of time. When you started training, what was your aha moment? I know how to do this. Like, I'm comfortable doing this. Because I know obviously you've leveled up because I've seen it, but.
That's a tough question. I think when I first worked with a kid, the kid was struggling, and this was very early on when I really started it. The kid was struggling on, coming off screens and stuff, and I worked with them on different things that they could do with the screen and how to be successful without using dribble into dribble. And then they had a breakout year from that.
Awesome.
But like, I guess the thing that I didn't think about as much, which is probably the aha moment, this comes before that, was the girl that I had that went to Del Valle, who was just a beast, but she didn't know how to play. And they came to me and I worked with her, and then she went from somebody who was nobody thinking about to She got scholarship.
That's awesome.
You know,
man.
she played ball, and she had opportunity to go play professional, but her knees were bad. So, but she always points out that, you know, like, I didn't even know how to do this and that until you showed me, and look at where my where basketball took me. So I guess I would say that was my first aha. But then with the other kid, that was probably, I'd say, the reinforcement that,
Gotcha.
okay, yeah, I know it. Because when I first started, it's like you want to just do, not really the flashy stuff, but I'm trying to show them the stuff that I would do and how to do it. But over the years, I've come to understand that, you know, I can't expect kids to have my mentality or your mentality to get better and to see things the way, you know, I'd see them or do them in you and stuff. So that's been a maturization of my training when it comes to that.
Gotcha. I appreciate that insight.
All right, so you done lost your damn mind. This is it. All right, laying the gauntlet line.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Best NBA dunk contest ever.
I've got two.
You know, you can't have two.
But I know. I got you. I'm with it.
we
I got two
always
that's on my mind.
We always do it, and it ends up helping.
I'm going to say when Vince Carter won the dunk contest.
Okay. All right, so you're coming from a different angle. I was looking at the contest as a whole between, you're talking the best person. I'm thinking of the best dunk contest.
The best competition.
The best competition in the dunk contest.
Oh, man. We got Jordan Dominique, and we got my man from Denver.
Gordon and Levine.
Gordon and Levine. I thought
those
that was
are the
amazing.
two.
Yeah,
those are the two. So who you got?
I feel like both of them got cheated. Dominique and Gordon got cheated. But I'm going to go Dominique Jordan because it was in Chicago and it was epic. Yeah, I'm going to go with those two.
All right, we got a base. Because I'm going Levine and Gordon. I wanted to go Jordan and Dominique, but I'm going Levine and Gordon.
It's Levine.
Because they were basically one-upping each other on each dunk. And everybody was like, no.
What you think Dominique and Jordan was doing? We're talking about Dominique Wilkins and Jordan.
Dominique did the same two dunks.
No,
the same
sir.
Kind of way.
No,
it was
sir.
either a windmill dunk or it was either bad.
Do it off the glass.
Right, but it was the same dunk. It was just with force. And when I watched it at time, it was like amazing. Yeah. But now when I go back and watch it, I was like, man, that was the same two dunks. He just did it in different ways. He windmilled.
You ain't say creativity, man.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, okay, all right. That one was epic.
Yeah.
But the reason why I put Gordon and Levine is because by this time we've seen so much. Mm-hmm. So the fact that they could just come up and do stuff and you're like, wow.
That was good.
That man, that was
You're talking
epic.
about the creativity was
unreal.
Was
off and that's why I gave them the edge, because I remember witnessing Dominique and Jordan, and it was like it was the pinnacle.
Yeah.
And then you watch all the ones in between, and you had like Vince Carter has an amazing dunk contest, but it was like you always knew. Levine and was it the 1 year where it was like they went into like what? Quadruple overtime or something? Because they was like, man, what are we gonna do?
And man, you know, that I was disappointed because I thought they both should have got it. I'm never about that.
Yeah.
But that is the one time.
That wasn't a participation.
They both should have said, you know what?
Yeah. Y'all gotta share
this is over. Y'all gotta share this, man.
Y'all gotta share it.
And I really do believe that would have elevated.
And everybody else was talking about it, man. You got to give it to both because everything was a 50.
Yeah.
Everything was a 50, and that was my most memorable dunk contest.
No doubt.
So see, I brought him on my side. Let me go ahead and wipe
creativity. But nothing's gonna beat Jordan Dominique.
I mean, that was epic. They went back and forth, but yeah, you wasn't having 50s where they went quadruple for overtime.
No. They they did a fantastic job.
Yes.
They really did.
Yes.
And Gordon hadn't done one since.
No. All right, so this will conclude today's episode. We hope you appreciate it. Hope you found some value in some of the stuff we said. Like, subscribe, comment, follow. Let us know what you think. Send me an email me at streetcredsports@yahoo.com. Let me know what you're thinking. I'll try to put the email link. If you have questions, if you disagree, I'm gonna try to put some of this on social media, and we'll see what's happening. So we appreciate y'all to the fullest. We're gonna get back on it because this is something that I enjoy. I know it's like a million podcasts going on, but I enjoy this, and I think it comes from a different perspective.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna end it like we always do. I let him do it last time. I got a little jealous after I was like, man, why I let him do it? I can't be letting nobody else do my thing.
He expected me to fail. I killed it. My ratings was crazy.
I was like, damn, you did that kind of good. I might have to think about another thing. Like I ain't like that at all. I was like, let me see if I can cut that part out and then just end it. And somebody like, man, what happened?
Oh, man.
So I'm gonna end it like we always do. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. We out.
Peace.
Street cred sports, say it with your chest. Yeah. Go get it from the net. Street cred sports, okay, that's a bet.